Hi kids, it's Mrs. Clark again. Today we're going to paint the rocks. We can paint rocks for Mother's Day, or we can paint rocks just for hiding. I've seen other people hide these rocks. Today we're going to make this rock. It has a daisy on it, a Shasta daisy with a stem, and it says Mom, and we even put a heart on the top. So are you ready? Get your bag out with the paint and the paintbrushes and the rocks. I have a bowl of water here that I'm going to rinse my paintbrushes off when I need to. And I have a lot of paper towels just in case I make a mess. So make sure you have those. You probably won't use all the paint in these containers today. So if you don't use all the paint, you can always use the paint on the puppets that we're going to make. All right, so we're going to get started. Make sure your rocks are washed off and dried. And we're going to start out with the stem part right here, this stem. And if you notice that you only have the primary colors, red, blue, and yellow, and you don't have any green. If you remember from Vashti, she made dots green by adding yellow and blue, and she made green. So I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm going to take my paintbrush and put some yellow out. I'm going to take a different paintbrush. I'm going to put some blue out on the table and a different paintbrush, and I'm going to put some red just out here for later. All right. Wash my paintbrushes off. Now, what you probably learned in Mrs. Jones's class is yellow and blue make green. So we're going to take some yellow. I like to put it in the middle. And then I'll take some blue and mix it together and make the color I like. That looks like a good green. Okay. Now, I'm going to put that over here, and we're going to start painting. I'm going to take a little brush, make sure I have all the color out of it from last time. I'm going to take some of the green, and I'm going to make the stem right here. I'm going to go down. I'll make a leaf over on this side. Remember, we have the leaves to collect the energy for the plant to use as food. I'm going to put a flower leaf over here. And now we have the stem. The next part is the flower, the daisy, and this is, I believe, a Shasta daisy, and usually they're yellow and white, but we don't have white, so I'm going to use blue this time. And here's how we start. We have the stem. We make an umbrella shape around the stem, the top part of the umbrella, all the way around. Okay. The next part, take some more blue. Now I'm going to make a half a circle here. I'm going to make 4 half circles. Now, if you see that the blue and the green are mixing, I can wipe that off and I can fix it, or I need to let the stem dry and do it again when the stem dries so that the green doesn't get in the blue. And then the last one, I'll help you see, and the last one goes here. All right, so you have that shape, that umbrella shape, and you have the petals here. The next thing you need to do is take a bigger brush. Make sure it doesn't have any other color in it. And you're going to take more blue, and you're going to fill in the outline. Your first part was like an outline of the flower, and your second part is actually painting the flower. don't worry if you can see the rock through it, because once it's dry, you can go over it again with a little bit more paint and it will look better. All right? So there's step 1 and step 2. We're going to let this dry. And then we're going to come back with step 3. Step 3 is this part, the part in the middle that has pollen on it. The bees will get the pollen and send it to other flowers. So this is the part we're going to do, and we're going to use yellow. Get a smaller brush, put some yellow on it, and you're going to make another umbrella shape on the top. And once you have the umbrella shape, then you can go in with your paint and fill in that part. Great. Now, you're going to let that dry. Each part needs about 10 minutes to dry, maybe. Not. If you have a fan, you can blow a fan on it, or if you can blow it with your mouth, that's fine. All right. Now, I don't want to just stop there because, as you see in this one has little dots on it, and I made them purple. If you remember from Mrs. Jones's class, what 2 colors make purple? Has to be 2 primaries. If you guessed red and blue, you are absolutely right. Now, you're not going to use all your paint today. If you have extra, then you can use it on your puppet that we're going to make later. You can use it for a painting or a picture. So here is what we're going to work on, is the dots for the center yellow part. I'm going to take the end, not my brush, but I'm going to take my end of my paintbrush, and I'm going to get a whole bunch of paint on that. So I have a whole bunch of paint, and I'm just going to dot. I'm going to push it down a little bit, dot, a little bit dot, a little bit dot, a little bit dot, a little bit dot. Not very much paint at all. All right, so we're going to let those dry. I'm going to show you on this one. We're going to take a little paintbrush. If you don't have a teeny tiny paintbrush that you can write mom with, then don't worry. You can take a toothpick. So you can find a toothpick at your house, and you can use the toothpick to write mom. So on this side, we're going to put mom, and I like to put it in red because I love mom. And I'm going to write real carefully. And it's easier to write in all capitals. If you make a mistake, you can take a wet paper towel and kind of wipe it off. Now, this rock is too small to make a heart on it as well. So what I did was I took my little paintbrush again. I got some red, and I wanted to outline the petals. And so here was a bump, here was a bump, here's a bump, here's a bump. So I went around the edges with the red and do another one and do another one. And the last one goes all the way around the outside and up. You can make them go all the way up to the yellow part. And there you go. If you would like to make a heart and you don't want to make the flower, so here's what it looks like when we get it all done with the spots and the mom. But I didn't have enough places to put a heart, and that's fine. You don't have to put everything on one rock. You can find other rocks out there, and you can paint as many rocks as you want. So I'm going to take this rock, and I'm going to turn it over so I have a blank space. If I just wanted to make a heart and mom, I'm going to use red, and I get a bunch on my paintbrush like this, and I'm going to make a circle over here and a circle over here. And then I'm going to take this circle and pull it down, and this circle and pull it down, and then I'm going to fill it in, make that a little bit better circle, make that a little bit bigger circle, and pull that down. Now, after it dries, I might want to go over and give it another coat of paint so it looks better. If I wanted to write Mom on it again, I would do the same thing. I would find the littlest paintbrush that I had. And maybe I want to write in blue, and I would write Mom. And I can write a little bit bigger since I have more space. There's all kinds of different things you can do. I saw some butterflies and some bees, and I saw some unicorns. I saw some emojis. You can look online for different rock ideas, or you could also mix paints that you know are going to change colors, like red and yellow equals orange. So if you were to make some orange up, little red, little yellow, make some orange. You could also make dots that have orange too. Have fun with your projects. So here's the one that says a heart and Mom and some dots. Make sure you let them dry in between because they need to, you can layer the paint on top. Now once they are completely dry, with your parents' permission, now these paints stain. You can wipe them off the rocks a little bit. If you get it on the table, you can wipe it off the table, but you can't wipe it off on your clothes. You can't wipe it off your clothes. So make sure that you are in a space, your table is covered, you have napkins and paper to help wipe it off. And when you get done, you don't want it to come off. So if your mom has some clear nail polish, you need to use it in a space that's like outdoors so that you don't get all that yucky smell in there. So you shake up your nail polish, and this is just to cover it to make sure it doesn't come off. So just cover it with the nail polish. Has to be dry, has to be completely dry. You don't want to get nail polish on you either because it won't come off. It'll make it shiny. It'll make it stay better. Then you can either have it in your house as a pretty rock. You can put it out in your garden. And then you want to let it have enough time to dry so that when Mother's Day comes, you don't have Mom pick up a wet rock. Right? Here it is, all completely done with the fingernail polish on top. This is what we have for Mom for Mother's Day. You can use the other rocks however you want. You can make Mom several rocks for Mother's Day. I hope you had a good time painting. I hope to see you soon. Remember, I love you, and I'll see you on the next craft or story.